Hi, welcome to MediatorPodcast.com, a podcast and video series about mediation, negotiation, and collaboration. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide online valuation, divorce, and mediation services in St. Louis, Missouri. In this week's episode, we will discuss how to be financially prepared for mediation with Karen Chellew. For over 30 years, Karen has worked in the legal field as a paralegal and business manager. She's an affiliate member of the American Bar Association in the Dispute Resolution Committee, and she's a certified QDRO administrator. She also owns a company called My Divorce Solutions, which typically includes a team of professionals, including a certified divorce financial analyst, and they develop your financial portrait. And so this is a document that contains financial data that any couple would need in order to make clear decisions for their future. So as a legal liaison and a QDRO administrator, she helps support your legal team and facilitate other connections with resources. Amazing background. Welcome, Karen. And part of it is there is a cost. You know, it does cost money to basically tell the administrator of that account to split it up and how to split it up and where it goes and things like that. Right. So it always isn't as economical to split all the accounts down the middle. You know, right. That's where it becomes a little bit more unique. If you know the financial picture, you can kind of determine some more efficient ways to deal with it. But that kind of leads me to a question, you know, a couple or an individual or an attorney or mediator, really a lot of what you are doing is helping with the discovery process. And it is such an abomination sometimes to get documents and subpoenas and depositions of records and all of these crazy things. But if somebody is just kind of contemplating divorce, may not have a ton of access to the financial records, how do they start to work with you? Or if they're an attorney or mediator, like how does that process work?
So I just want to briefly say what it is. So the portrait is a compilation of the financial data supported by the document. So historically, people will put together their net worth statements and say, this is our marital estate. You usually have one spouse or the other that loves that net worth spreadsheet. And then in the legal world, the attorneys or mediators, they're really focused on the documents because they need those documents to evidence what you think the marital estate is or what you want. So when you go to your attorney or your mediator, you say, I want A, B, C, and D. Please go get this for me. So they need the documentation to support it. So we created the MDS financial portrait to integrate the financial data with the documents to support it so that everybody, clients and their professionals, are all working from the same reference point. So for either a client or an attorney to work with us, typically the couple will come through our website or we'll work with them with a consult to identify the components of their marital estate. Because from that, we talk it through with them and we develop a flat fee. So from that flat fee, they are then delivered their property reports. They have all their key and supporting documents in an inventory. We talked about what all of the marital estate means. So that's delivered in what's called a table of recommendations and considerations, so that if you do have 5 401ks, we recommend how to be most efficient with the division of those accounts in relationship to the couple's decision on the percentage of how they're going to divide that. If you're selling real estate, if you have a business, you know, do you need a valuation? Do you need to call Melissa Gragg and get a valuation? That will all be on the report, why we make those recommendations and how to get that done, so that when you're going to the mediator, or the attorney, not only do you have the components of your marital estate right in front of you with the documents to support, but you also know the issues that have to be addressed to get you to the finish line. So that is the MDS portrait end to end, and it all starts with either a call to our office, an email to hello@mydivorcesolution.com, or directly through the website where you'll take a quiz and, we just go from there.
Well, and I think that that is very helpful. The other thing that I will mention is that preparation in the divorce process, regardless of what option you decide to do, mediation or litigation or just talking it through with your spouse, the preparation is key, because you really can't make any good financial decisions unless you can see the whole picture. And that comes with communication and clarity to help you decide. But the reality is, attorneys are expensive and mediators are expensive. And when you both get attorneys and then you both get experts and then you both start sending subpoenas and you both are doing all of this crazy stuff, you're diluting the amount of money that you're going to have to split at the end. And so it may seem like this is like, I can kind of get my documents together. But a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know what you're going to miss. You don't know what you should be looking for. And if you can be really efficient at the beginning, I think that it will cost less for the attorney to do that same process, and if you're paying a lot of money for the attorney per hour to do that process, this is a much more efficient way to do it.
Right. It's much more efficient financially, but it's also much more efficient emotionally, because when you can come to the table knowing what you have, what you want, and what your options are, you already know your bandwidth for compromise, and every divorce is going to come with compromise. So you know what any piece of compromise means to your end result. In addition, a lot of couples come through and they think they're going to go to their attorney afterwards, but once they have the financial clarity, it neutralizes the adversity. Mm-hmm. So it allows them to mediate more effectively, and it really takes down that whole stress and overwhelm, because they're both working. It's fact-based. It's definitely a financial transaction. There's a lot of things that may need to be negotiated, or maybe one attorney or the other will interpret the data a little bit differently, but for the most part, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So that's why this portrait is so beneficial and helpful to start with. Again, to your point of saving a lot of money. I just had an attorney tell me recently that she concluded that most couples spend about $100,000 a piece in the discovery process with an estate. I think it was an estate more than $1 million, but irrespective of that, that's how many more $1,000 too much? Let's just say $80,000 too much to spend.
Well, because the process is to send subpoenas to the actual institution that has your account. It's not sending something to your spouse necessarily. It's how much are we fighting and how much do we have to go through different channels. Right. So I think it's all good information. The reality is people can get divorced any way that they want. And you can choose based on your own kind of relationship if you think or if you want to try to do this. The fact of the matter is most people want to spend as little money getting divorced as they can, because there may not be a lot there anyway. And so that process, I think, is really helped when you work with people who create some efficiencies. And that's what we all try to do in this space.
Absolutely. Especially when you're dividing debt as well, just knowing what that is. You don't need to spend a lot of money dividing debt.
No. So definitely they should reach out. If somebody's kind of considering getting divorced, go to mydivorcesolution.com and you can get more information. Also a huge resource for attorneys and mediators that I think, you can help even them be more efficient. So I would encourage anybody kind of in this space as a professional to also reach out to you and just see if it's something, if there's some synergies, right?
Sure, absolutely.